Today we're going to look at Golden State, and we're going to see how they rely so heavily on Steph Curry and how this benefits their offense and how they actually play off of it to get a huge amount of their points. Let's go. The first thing that triggers every concept is Steph's ability to shoot. Like, that is the overarching concept that leads to everything for the Warriors. So we can see as he's coming off this screen right here, because the defender simply gets caught on the screen and the other defender's not in time to react and get a hand up, Steph has a clean look, and that is something every defense knows they cannot allow. We can see again here we have a ball screen coming. As this ball screen, if you don't have one player that you're not going to switch up and put a hand up in the face, you're giving Steph the green light. He's going to shoot that ball every single time. So again, using that ball screen right there to create just a little bit of separation where 12 is behind Steph Curry. This puts a lot of strain on him because he's going downhill because Steph has a slight step. And so the difficulty is Steph now has the ability to keep going, or he can stop quickly, and because 12's momentum is taking him past, that gives Steph the space he needs to get a shot up. So then on this slight dribble handoff right here, again, we're watching how the screeners react. The screeners are going to have slight miscommunication. 12 tries to get around the screen by going underneath it. Steph says no, no, no. He's just going to go back to the other side, use Wiggins again as a screen, and again you have green light for Steph. So in every scramble type situation, you have to make sure that you're accounting for everyone, and having Gary Payton cut here takes this defender out of the play. And you can see the defender's pointing at Steph. He knows that Steph is the major threat here. However, LeBron had leaked out. It's a little too slow on the recovery, and another open look. So we have two things at play here. First off, we have transition. Steph's extremely difficult to guard in transition because of the whole court essentially you have to be able to rotate between. So he gets off a clean look here. He actually misses the shot. However, this is the other crucial thing, is because it's a little bit chaos transition, you're going to have a decent chance of getting a rebound. And Steph is still a huge threat. And so because he relocates away from where the defender was, moves over this way, and Schroeder does a great job finding him quickly, and there's no one to close out, not quickly at least. And again, that's not a shot that you want to give up to Steph. And so the Warriors are down late here, so they're trying to essentially get any shot they can. And so essentially what they want is a quick three by somebody, and the Steph is obviously the person who's going to take that shot, and that's an off-balance shot, good defense. That's like an insane shot from Steph Curry. Then after the Lakers make their free throws, you know who's going to shoot this ball down three. It's going to be Steph for sure. And so they're going to put all defensive resources on him, trying to switch. Draymond does a good job just staying with his person. So staying with who would have gone to Steph. And so Steph gets a relatively clean look, albeit from way downtown. And like no one shoots this ball better than Steph does. That's unbelievable. So then we get to the second avenue of Steph's game. And so Steph actually works counterintuitive to the majority of players, and Steph works from the outside in instead of, like, if you look at LeBron or Giannis or Nikola Jokic, they work from the inside out. They make you respect the inside, and then that creates their open opportunities on the perimeter. Steph, on the other hand, makes you respect the outside, and so that makes you overreact to everything on the perimeter. It's like what Dalton Connect would not be this close up as any other player on the court. He would give him a little more space to counteract going downhill. However, you have to stay glued to Steph on the perimeter, and that allows him to create openings that otherwise he wouldn't be able to. Then we get Steph coming downhill. We're going to see a switch here, and so this is going to put Rui on Steph. And is Rui less athletic than Steph? There's no chance. Like, Rui is an athletic freak. And Steph essentially just commands respect right there. That little hesitation right there. People don't realize how off balance this sets Rui because he's worried about him just simply like going up to shoot. And so because Steph just simply hesitated and then attacked aggressively after that, that creates just a little bit of step contact. And Rui doesn't want to get a foul, and Steph uses his length to have a nice finish. And Steph actually does the exact same thing right here. 12, the defender is obviously worried about a three because they're down four with short time. And so Steph uses a little hesitation and then just turns it on. If he's able to essentially change momentum that quickly, it makes it really difficult for any defender to guard him. But then the real key that opens up the Warriors offense is how Steph's shooting on the perimeter unlocks easier layups on the inside. Or open threes on the outside, but I love the inside dunks or layups that players get because of Steph. So because of Steph's gravity right here, this player, the defender 12 again, Christie, is coming over the top because he's like, I need to stay attached to Steph or otherwise he's going to shoot a three. However, what does this mean? It means the inside's open. Steph simply curls it and gets a wide open layup. And this is actually what I think represents a huge catch-22 for the Warriors, is I think they got to probably change the way Payton plays, or change, frankly, they might need somebody else playing in place of him. But they have the post player, Lakers have the post player on Gary Payton because he's not that great of a shooter. So Gary Payton comes up to shoot. They're worried about Steph's a three-pointer shooter, so this defender jumps a little bit, and Gary Payton rolls to the rim. And yes, I realize this works for a dunk, and this shows how good Steph is. However, I don't think that this benefits the rest of the offense. This is a short-term game, but I think in the long term, they're losing efficiency. All right, so then moving in transition here, and as I said, Steph is a huge threat in transition, and the Lakers know this. We can see as soon as he gets the ball, you have eyes that are gravitated towards him immediately. You have connect, leave his person. Rui Hachimura is looking this way. They know they have to get a hand up, or else he's going to have a clean look at a three. Okay, so as he gets this gravity right here, you can see LeBron steps up to take Draymond because Rui shifted over. And these Trace Jackson Davis, and he does a great job cutting into that open space for an open dunk. Again, we see action from Gary Payton here. And so the reason they're doing it with Gary Payton again is because he's the non-shooter. So Steph's going to have potentially the advantage on this defender over here. So essentially Gabe Vincent just leaves Gary Payton because he doesn't care about him shooting. Steph finds the right read, gets it to Gary Payton, and Gary Payton is able to go downhill with a good finish, again caused by Steph's gravity. And then Steph also here running a nice little ghost screen action right there. Shout out to the channel. And as this ball gets moved to him, LeBron's going to be a little bit behind, so Steph kind of has an angle to go downhill. And there's a lot of defenders in this area because there's a lot of players in this area. And so I'm actually not a huge fan of Rui gambling right here, but Rui steps up because he also doesn't really respect Jonathan Kuminga as a shooter a huge amount. And so he's willing to take that gamble. Kuminga cuts. And so again, while this works out and Draymond seals his dude nicely, that's great for the Warriors. It works out for a dunk. However, that's something that they need to think about is if you have players on the court that don't get respect like Payton, like Kuminga potentially, on the perimeter, it closes up a lot of potential offense for the rest of your team. And so while Steph's a very different type of player than like Jokic or LeBron, he impacts the game a huge amount through their entire offense and through the way they play basketball. And it's beautiful to watch.